Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah, and with me here is my business partner, Marcosini, and we are the co-founders of Zimbo Music. So what is Zimbo Music? Zimbo Music is an amazing, it's actually a first of its kind platform in Zimbabwe for promoting, showcasing, and distributing Zimbabwe local music. But why Zimbo Music? What's actually inspired us to do Zimbo Music, and what does it do? Basically, what we've realized is there's just so much talent in Zimbabwe. Musical talent is just so amazing. I've got friends, I've got relatives who've made amazing music, and it's actually hurt me to see that they haven't been able to put it out there to the market. For example, in the United States, there's a 21-year-old Zimbabwean who's on the billboards with Beyonce. She plays every day on Trace, on MTV. There's a guy called Brian Shoko. He's a Zimbabwean. He's recently won an award for being the best producer. He produces for Jay-Z and popular South African artists. We all know Oliver Mtukudzi. And I can tell you there's thousands of Zimbabweans out there similar to these people. But the problem is their music is undiscovered. They've got no platform to actually showcase their music. And one of the key reasons for this is, like we've discussed, no platform. And a key reason as well is, there's obsolete distribution systems being used. Over the years, we've seen a transition in the way music is distributed. In the 80s, vinyl records were used, tapes, we moved on to CDs, and I can tell you now we are in the digital age. And there hasn't been much appreciation of that in Africa and Zimbabwe, and what's driving that. These are statistics from the USA, and you can just tell from the graphs, digital is the new way with music. There's limited marketing of musical events in Zimbabwe, limited news available. I'm a fanatic. I want to go out there and see who's doing what. That's not there. There's an issue with piracy. Artists are not being rewarded for their work. So what are we doing about this? We've created an online and mobile platform that allows artists to create profiles, and they can upload their music, their songs, albums. They can contribute to events, upload news, and contribute videos. Us ourselves as the platform owners, we also contribute news and events and so forth. And basically this large pool, this large ecosystem of content, users can access it, music fans, listeners, and promoters. So artists will be able to choose whether they want their content to be free or if it's paid downloads, and users will then download for free or make the payments. Just to show you what the site currently looks like, this is the running beta we've had running for just close to 2 months now. And it just looks fabulous. It's a joy to use. It looks beautiful. As you can see, you can play. There's the best videos featured, top songs for the month, latest news. That's a login screen. You can create an account right there. Trending albums are shown. So basically, there's charts for fans to see which artists are the best artists. This is our artist page. You can see the number of artists. We already have 60 artists who've signed up. As you can see, our most popular artist has received close to 600 views. That's the albums page. You can select the albums of your choice. If you like gospel, this is where you can play music online. It streams directly. We link to social media. We currently have over 140 likes on Facebook already. We just have a beta version. This is some events. As you can see, something's happening in Bulawayo. So in terms of the market, do we actually know the market that we're working in? We've actually done extensive research. We've talked to artists, to fans, to studio owners, promoters. We've even attended shows, to interface with the various stakeholders. And the responses have just been overwhelming. Our competition, we're aware of them. There's Jive Zimbabwe, Zimbo Jam, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation. But I can tell you, each of these guys are doing one or more of the following. They're not doing one or more of the following. They don't allow user uploads, no ranking of artists. Users can't play music, or no paid or free downloads. Or content is not Zimbabwean. Like if you go to SoundCloud or YouTube, it's not exclusive. It's hard to find local music. So our competitive advantage is we offer user uploads, downloads. You can get paid free downloads. You can stream music. Our technology is unique. It's beautiful to use. We have the web app already running. We're still working on the mobile app, and we plan to engage partners such as GTEL, Astro, and Econet to assist in distributing our platform. They ship a lot of devices, and we'd like our app to be installed on those devices. We've already engaged Astro, and we're still talking with GTEL, and we'd like to talk to Econet. Accomplishments this far, our platform's already hosted. We've already had over 6,000 visitors, over 60 artists have signed up, and we've already been approved by Google AdSense, so we can start monetizing. Our goals for the next 6 months, we want to complete the payment system, develop the mobile app, and market aggressively. And what we need to do this, we need some assistance with funding to register a company, complete the payment system, complete the mobile app, and as well various administrative costs. We believe 14,000 will take us very far for the next 6 months in achieving these goals. Our revenue model, most of our revenue is going to come from advertising. That's 60%. We're going to get money from commissions from paid downloads. We're going to get marketing fees from shows and commissions. We've already been talking to the biggest show organizer in Blower. They're excited to be partnering with us. We're looking to do an event. If we manage to raise capital titled Zimbo Music, it'll take us far. Some of our revenue projections, it's an internet business. It's driven by traffic. So we plan to make 40,000 in the first 6 months. Our first annual revenue will be 130,000. We can show you the details of how these numbers come together. We expect revenue growth of 30% each year based on traffic. Our team is myself. I'm a software developer, and I have business experience. My business partner as well has extensive business experience. He's worked at big companies. We also have 2 other team members. Do you mind? We also have 2 other team members. One is a graduate from UCT, studied software engineering. He will handle the technical aspects. Our other partner is he's a seasoned article writer. He's a graphics designer, and he has very good people skills. So he'll be out there interviewing artists, creating news, and posting content, and encouraging artists and interfacing with them. This is live from the site.
Thank you.
Do you mind playing the video?
Well done.
Well done. I think good presentation. Can you please tell us about the copyright issues that come into play in this environment?
Definitely. So we've actually done some research and find that we're quite lucky because recently over the years, copyright laws have sort of gotten less stricter in terms of digital distribution. So we've gotten information from Zimura, who's the Zimbabwe Music Rights Association. And we found that as long as the actual producer of the content, the artist himself, agrees to upload his content, then it's fine for you to have that content on a platform such as ours. So what we've done is we've come up with very carefully structured terms and conditions. And we have friends of ours who are associates and partners at law firms in Bulawayo. They've helped us structure these terms and conditions. And they basically address copyright issues. That the rights of the music, if they're uploaded for free download, you agree that the music can be downloaded and used. For paid downloads, once people pay, you get your downloads.
And you just mentioned when someone pays, how do you recoup that money? Does it go straight to the musician, or it comes to you, and what percentage of that paid download do you get?
Okay. So basically, we're looking at getting a 5% commission of paid downloads. That's what our projections are based on. We think it's reasonable. We've looked at what iTunes does, and that's basically the kind of percentages that you collect. And so the way the payments is going to work is the payment comes to a company bank account, a Zimbo Music bank account, and we have records of all the transactions. And what will happen is at the end of each month, if the particular artist has generated more than $100, then we can release the payment to him after deducting our commission. And in terms of the particular other commissions, like, for example, royalties to Zimura, if the artist is registered with Zimura, in our agreements, it will be the artist's responsibility to remit all such royalties and so forth. So we cleanse ourselves of that obligation.
Okay. So once I go to the platform and I download the music, I'm free to share with my friends. I can share with my friends.
We hadn't incorporated that into the terms and conditions. But for the paid downloads, we have considered the rights. And the rights limit you to personal use. You can basically play the music, copy it to as many devices, which is what iTunes currently allows. So there's a limitation. You can't use it commercially. You can't play it in a nightclub. You can't, play it at a show. But for the free downloads, currently it's open. You actually can share it with other people.
So technically I can download and then...
For the free downloads, currently, yes.
What about the paid?
Paid downloads limit you in terms of our terms and conditions. It'll be an illegal act, basically.
But it's possible to do it. Technically I can do it.
Yes, definitely.
If I choose to do illegal things, I can.
You can do illegal things like people selling CDs on the streets, but that would be illegal.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
What percentage of your projected revenue is from these fees, these commissions on sale of music?
It's 10%. We project. The reason why it's small, why it's 10%, is we appreciate that, there's sort of a change in culture that's first needed, because change in behavior, because people aren't used to paying for music, and people aren't used to paying for things online. So we appreciate that, and that's why it's still such a small fraction of our total revenue.
But based on that 5% fee and your roughly $10,000 a month revenue, you're projecting $20,000 a month in music sales from your site off the bat, roughly.
Yes, which is based on an estimate of 2,000 downloads a month, which is reasonable because we just ran the numbers on October. We still just have a beta version, and 400 songs were downloaded in October, but that's the free download. So we think once we launch and we get the numbers really up, we can get at least 2,000 downloads.
But those were free ones, the 400.
The 400, yes. So you find most of our revenue, 60% is on advertising, because we actually see the value in, people want to access free things. And so far, we actually don't have any payments integrated. We're still working on that. So all the traffic you see, all the content you see here, it's been uploaded by actual artists. We don't make music. It's actual artists. They create an account, they upload the music. So our revenue, we plan to get it from advertising, which is from the traffic that we get. We can convert our traffic to advertising, and we've already been signed by Google AdSense.
I think I've got a concern. I'm a bit concerned because the differentiation between you and your competitors is almost on a feature basis. So, it is very easy for your competitors overnight to just copy some of the features that you have, and then when that happens, I'm not very clear that will you win in that game. I think also maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the competition. What exactly are they doing? How many people are on their platform? Because I think that's also a very important aspect of your business.
Okay. All right. So I was actually quite excited about what Garth mentioned earlier, that a lot of people go into business and they set up the technology, and they think the technology is everything. It's going to make everything work, So what actually happened when we first launched the beta, we really had the slow adoption until we started going out and engaging artists and partnering with artists. Michael Cini is busy every day. He's engaging with artists. They WhatsApp him. They send us on our Facebook page and so forth. So I think even if they do copy that, we've done so much work already building a network of relationships with artists. So they won't have those relationships with those artists that we've already started nurturing. So, we're already ahead. It's just like Classifieds is already ahead. Even if I try to market on the ground as much, they already have so much momentum, and we already have that momentum. And in terms of other things, when we look at our competition, most of our competition, for example, am I allowed to mention names? Take, for example, Jive Zimbabwe. They're really only the other active platform that's promoting distribution, right? But what they do is they only allow paid downloads, and we just highlighted the issues with payments. People are reluctant to pay. And also what it means is the ecosystem of the music industry is there's no awareness because people don't know who's out there. So you're not going to pay for a song from a person you don't know. So I think that's a downside that they have. We promote upcoming artists. There's free content. the content is user generated, you know. Even if we're asleep in our bedrooms, there's content actually coming onto the site, but they have to actively put content. So I think we're ahead in that respect. And then looking at other competition, most of all the other competition, they're just news blogging sites. Take, for example, Zimbo Jam. They just publish news and entertainment-related news. So we're looking at doing that, but we're going to do a lot more as well. Because when people come and read about news, you hear, yeah, there's this artist called Cosmos, he's really good, but that's all they do. They actually want to play the song and say, let me actually listen myself. You know, so they're able to do that on our platform, which I think is a game changer. And people love videos, so we also have videos. And like we mentioned, our technology, it hasn't been easy coming up with this. We've had to do a lot of custom coding at the class level and so forth. So it can't be easily replicated overnight.
So you mentioned the 400 people.
400 downloads.
400 downloads.
Yes.
Where are those downloads from? Are they local or they're also international?
Perfect. So this was actually yesterday. We've actually accessed our server to see the statistics on our server. And we're actually impressed to note that only 50% of our traffic comes locally from Zimbabwe. The other 50% is predominantly from the UK. There's so many people in the diaspora interested in local music and what's happening.
So what impact does that have on your advertising revenue? Because if you're advertising if you've got Zimbabwe advertising content for 50% of the Zimbabwean people, shouldn't you also be looking at advertising for those people in those different geographies?
Definitely. So we think Google's really amazing. Their technology is unbelievable. So one of our key advertising strategies is Google AdSense, right? So what AdSense does is they do targeted ads. So which take into account your location, your interests and so forth. So if we have users who are in the UK, Google AdSense is smart to say, okay, let me throw an ad of this thing that's relevant to this person. And you can click on it, and it's actually real value to the advertiser. So we think that caters for that. But nevertheless, those people in the diaspora, let's not forget, they're Zimbabweans, eh? So it's still relevant to them. If there's an EcoCash ad, those people want to know, oh, EcoCash, I can send my grand, through EcoCash diaspora, or you advertise Millimil, they think, oh, okay, it's still relevant to them. So they're still a relevant target market.
I think I really, I really think that there isn't anything that's novel on this. And you will soon find that you will still have to struggle on how you manage the business itself. Overnight, yes, whilst they may not be doing those things, you find that they can quickly just ramp up their business so that they can actually do better than yourself. I think you need something that will guarantee you that you will get the followership onto that site. You will be able to also have the actual artists there. You didn't mention whether you're going to have exclusivity to those artists, or are they also part of the Jive artists?
In terms of artists are really, they're free to distribute their music wherever they please. So for example, you might find some of the artists who've already signed with us, they have their music already on SoundCloud, for example. But the benefit that we have and that the artists have is the proactivity with which we're marketing. So for example, one of our marketing strategies is if we manage to get some funding, we plan to set up a show and regularly have shows branded Zimbo Music, where we actually engage with these artists, encourage them to say, come to the showgrounds. We're going to have this huge event, and we're going to promote it, encourage young people to come. And, so that's a form of promotion as well for the artists, and it gives us a key differentiator for artists to really want to be associated with us. The issue of competition, I think, with almost any business, people can always try and copy what you're doing, but like Garth said, you just always have to keep improving and try and stay ahead of the curve, which is what we're always doing. And we're always looking out to see what our competitors are doing.
I'm intrigued by your distribution fee of 5%, it occurs to me that it's A, too low, and secondly, it is an area that you could explore to secure exclusivity of the content. In other words, you can reduce the fee that you keep if you get exclusivity with the artist. Just as a way of maybe addressing one of Bester's concerns. But how did you arrive at 5%? Where's the logic in that?
Fair value based on analysis of what other market players are saying. Like, for example, like I mentioned iTunes. So 5% is...
5% of in trillion downloads is a different metric to 5% of 10%.
But, you know, I mean, we also appreciate the scale potential of the business because, you know, for example, TechZim's published that Econet has over 8 million subscribers, right? And there's an average estimation that there's a 50% penetration to the internet of that market. That makes 4 million users. And, you know, almost everybody has a passion and following for music. So I think that 4 million is already a potential market. That's just Zimbabwe alone. You know, there's international users. You know, music is not restricted to country. Like, there's a lot of following of Nigerian music here. So we can actually scale across Africa, scale to South Africa. So while the 5% might look low, I think in terms of scale, the numbers really go up. But, you know, like we said earlier, our downloads revenue is still 10% of our projected revenue.
How much is it costing you for the payment mechanism as well? You got 5% you're going to keep.
Yeah, so currently that's really what we're struggling with, the transaction charges. Because, you know, especially at a small unit level, like we're discussing earlier, you know, the transaction fees are a bit higher. But
What are you working on?
so we're working on marketing album downloads.
What's the number of that?
Sorry?
What percentage is it?
The transaction fee. Currently, the cheapest is 40 cents plus 1.5%. That's
how many cents?
40 cents.
40.
40 cents, yes.
Out of $1 transaction, it's quite a lot.
It is quite a lot. So we're working on a workaround. So one of the workaround mechanisms we've come up with is we'll actually to have a manual system of delivering the downloads. So a person can, but we're still discussing with the payment gateways, but this is a workaround. Basically, what will happen is a user comes and puts his download into the shopping cart, right? And he'll be able to pay us. We'll have an EcoCash number. He pays us and also sends his order details. Basically, we see the order of the downloads on the back end, and we receive the EcoCash payment. Then we can release the download to the user. So that way, we sort of evade having to pay, you know, EcoCash transaction fee and payment gateway transaction fee. So we think that workaround for a start can work.
How much is the EcoCash transfer?
The EcoCash transaction fee for $1.
It's probably more than your 5%. How is Zimbo, Jive Zimbabwe, sorry? How are they, because they're only doing paid downloads, right?
Yeah, they're only doing paid downloads. So I accessed their site recently, and currently they only have PayPal checkout. But I spoke to someone from there, and they're saying they're working with Pay now, apparently. But I think they're going to experience the same challenge. So, which is why we've scaled down our downloads revenue.
You still have a problem, I think, that Best says, and that is for Jive Zimbabwe to do free downloads is a matter of a little change in their code. Right? How will you? Your unique selling point is that you do free downloads and they don't. Well, what's stopping them doing free downloads for content where the artist is giving it for free?
It's not easy. I mean, you know, like Gus mentioned, there's 60 classifieds websites or something out there. The reason why it's like that is because it's easy. You just go online, classified scripts, upload it. But it's not the same for this kind of platform. It's taken quite a long time for us to come up with this, and we feel it might be challenging for them to set it up as well.
Well, I mean, if you're charging $1 for something, you can certainly charge $0 for it. That doesn't. Anyway, how many unique site visitors did you have in the last month? When did you launch the site first, or the beta?
2 months ago.
And
was
how
beginning
many
September.
unique visitors did you have in the last month,
So do you mind scrolling down?
roughly?
So that's from the live site. I'm not sure if you can see from there. For this month alone, this is November and today is the 7th, we've had 966 unique visitors to the site. And today alone, we've had 140 visitors. So
All
we
right.
think once we launch and we market more aggressively, you know, we start doing the shows, build popularity, we'll really be able to scale those numbers.
Yeah, I didn't see in your marketing expenses that you flashed up briefly, I didn't see very much marketing to do the shows. It's going to cost you a lot more money, I would have thought, than what you had in your projections. I mean, how much have you put in your marketing that covers things like events that you want to hold?
For the next 6 months, we've projected $2,000.
Okay, you must have a very good event organizer company for that. The last question is you talk about the user content uploading.
Yes.
It wasn't clear to me if a user is a site user member of the public or if it's an artist, him or herself. Because I can understand artists wanting to
Yes.
upload their content and then effectively giving you the right to allow free downloads
Yes.
versus the user uploading content which they may not be the copyright owner of it.
Yes.
Which
So,
goes back to the first question.
so currently anyone can create an account, right? And there's an approval process. Well, basically, you saw from our framework, the whole site works under our moderation. So every day, I actually log onto the site and see what new content has been uploaded. Like, for example, these are recently added tracks. And we actually have an intricate relationship with each artist. If you upload today, we'll email you back and find out more about you. So we can have a relationship. So based on that and that moderation, we're able to evaluate that this guy is actually the owner of the content. So for example, if someone posts offensive content or maybe they upload an R. Kelly song, we immediately, you know, contact them and we deal with the situation like that. The whole platform works under a moderation.
All right. Give it a hand for Zimbo Music. Gentlemen, thank you.